You mean the great economist Bill Maher spoke? Oh, my goodness gracious.
No, the fact that an elitist is saying he doesn't give a damn about the rest of the country. He thinks it'd be great if it got rid of Trump.
Oh, he's just such a cute man. Look, I've heard that before. I've heard it plenty of times. And look, they get away with it. It does not matter. And it's unfortunate because if we go into recession, in many industries, all heck does break loose. So we don't want to see it. Look, I think there's a chance we will go in recession. We're way overdue. The Fed's been pushing on a string, I think. And more importantly, economies around the globe are really heading south. And some of our numbers are starting to look a little suspect. So watching closely.
All right. But, Zach, I want you to chime in on this. I want you to listen first to what Maria Bartiromo said about the comments of Bill Maher. Let's play the tape.
He really should be ashamed of himself. Recessions can really hurt. To say bring on the recession shows a complete, not caring for the rest of the country while he's sitting in his post, making millions, making jokes on television every night. Not everybody has your situation.
What do you make of that, Zach?
Look, I think whether or not Bill Maher is making a comment that people find objectionable is much less important than whether or not we are heading into a recession in 2020 based on a trade war and other fundamentals globally that are weighing on growth. The one thing I would say about that, though, is economic growth at 2%, 2.5% in the United States or 1% in Germany, we're not what we were in most of the latter part of the 20th century where you had 3, 4, 5% economic growth and then a recession of 2, 3%. Recessions now and our economic growth cycle are much more modest oscillations. It doesn't mean that it's a good thing or that it's to be wanted. It's that the depth in which we're likely to shrink is a much more modest one than it was for much of the 20th century.
Oh, please be careful about saying that. Be careful.
You think it's okay to hope for a recession as long as it's a teeny little recession?
No, I
completely refute that.
No, I said I don't think it matters what Bill Maher says. I think it matters whether or not we're heading into a recession. And my point is we should be talking about what's going on in terms of the fundamentals of the economy and not some diversion about what one talk show host says and what another talk show host says in response.
The reality is that leftist politicians across this country are hoping for a recession. When Chuck Schumer weighs in and says, yeah, we really need to be tough with China, I actually suspect it's because he thinks that may hurt our economic growth. You can't tell me that Democrats are not basically hoping that between now and 2020 the economy doesn't cool off because otherwise Trump is reelected in a landslide.
Yeah, but you're talking about the greater good here. Look, I don't want to give Bill Maher an excuse here. Bill Maher's a very talented guy. I disagree with him about wishing for a recession, but what he's saying is that Trump is such a threat to the world that a recession would be worth it. We're also just started a trade war with China that we've had to bail out our farmers that are losing contracts for the foreseeable future because it is the greater good. I don't agree with what Mr. Maher said. I don't think that it's good to want our country to go into a recession. I understand the sentiment behind it, but I don't think we're going into a recession. We have wage growth. We have full employment right now. We are a long way from going into a recession. I hope this trade war doesn't get us there, but right now it doesn't look like it's imminent.
All right. Well, let's hope you're right.